Howdy, folks. It sounds like I'm getting echo again. This is like a tradition. How is everybody doing today? Uh-oh. Goodness. Well, I did have my cell phone connected, but it looks like it backed out. But everybody in the comments, please let me know how you're doing today. It's Monday, and I just want to make sure everybody's doing good today. And tell me where you're from, where you're commenting from. I'd like to hear, how far away some of the people are from North Carolina, how close some of you might be. There we go. No, Daniel, you're not at my mom's house. Clever, though. Clever. Just give me one more second here and I'll get started. All right. I should do it now. Had to set up that train camera because what good is the Demos with Dave show without the train camera so you can see trains? So actually, I have quite a few trains to show everybody tonight. I wanted to do a special episode dedicated to recent and upcoming LC+ 2.0 engines. As you know, the LC+ 2.0 line is new as of last year and is an expansion of our previous Lion Chief Plus line, so where we've added TMCC capabilities as well as expanded sounds and speed, performance, and etc. So these engines are designed to be budget friendly for smaller layouts that don't have all the advanced features that Legacy has, but are pretty close and are a very nice complement to the line when it comes to small layouts, because all engines in the LC+ 2.0 line are designed to work on 031 and up. So if you have a very small layout at home, because O gauge takes up a lot of room, right? I mean, if you have a 4x8 sheet of plywood and that's your layout, you're not using much space, not much track. So that's why the smaller engines capable of tighter curves really pay off for people with those kind of space restraints. So let's get talking about them. I'm going to add in my choo-choo camera here. Woo, look at that. Back it in. And you can also see the TMCC ballast tamper there. I'll go over that last just because it's a cute little thing. But we'll start with the LC+ 2.0 engines here that I have. So let me start up the first one. You know what? I might not have programmed this one. Yeah, let me run it here. I'll just move it into frame. Technical difficulties. Probably a connector unplugged. But anyways, this is the LC+ 2.0 RS3. I know it was in the one big book, and I think possibly could have been in the last year's catalog as well. I know it was with the LC+ 2.0 GP7, which is the next engine I'll show, but I wanted to start here. There, that should help with the echo. I always forget to mute the cell phone. But yeah, this is the LC+ 2.0 RS3. So I wanted to go ahead and show you this guy. For those that are familiar with our RS3, the last time we did this was in LC+. So it would have had I don't remember if we did a Bluetooth version. We could have been RF even before the Bluetooth. But one of the things that we upgraded on both the RS3 and the GP7 was the pilots. So for those of you that remember the LC Plus version, the pilots on the engine actually stuck out and did not line up with the step in the frame. So we did new tooling for the pilots on both ends. So now that the steps are lined up with the slots in the frame, so looks a bit better this way. But aside from that tooling change, the engines are back drivable so that they can lash up with other LC 2.0 and even legacy engines that are in TMCC mode. And other great features that this LC Plus 2.0 engine has. So you got forward and reverse lights, you got the cab light and crew figure in the cab, electric couplers on the front and rear. Again, I think I forgot to plug all the connectors back into this engine. That's my fault. As well as an SGSU or smoke unit coming out of the stack here at Will. So really great engine with great sound effects. Now with the LC Plus 2.0 line of engines, you get one horn or one whistle, but you do get all 5 pitch variations. So let me go through those real quick. There we go. The batteries are dying on my remote. So pretty cool. Like one horn, but 5 different variations in terms of the pitch. Same with the bell. Now to do this, I'm using the cab 2 remote set to TMCC mode, and you press aux 1 and then just hit whistle, horn, or bell to change that. Now these do have crew talk.
Dispatcher, am I cleared to the outbound? Over. Hold for signal indication. Dispatcher out.
Santa Fe fan commenting on YouTube. If you want to know prices, I would advise you to go to thelionel.com and go to the catalog section and look through the catalogs. That way you can see the MSRPs as well as all the different road names and road numbers that are available. So that was regular crew talk, which is on button 2, but we also have the train sounds on button 7, and that kind of imitates some of the real crew talk dialogue you would hear over radio communications. And then on other engines, it'll be maintenance crew or whatever, and they are different whether you're stopped or moving.
They hold the siding until 44 clear. Then we can take the main. You should be through any minute. They hold the siding until 44 clear.
That one replayed.
We can take the main. You should be through any minute.
And we have that same feature now in newer legacy engines. And there are even more of those options in legacy engines. These have about 8, and the legacy engines have about 16, about double if I remember. So again, not as much as legacy, but still a great improvement in features over LC Plus. So let me go ahead and bring the next engine in. I'm just going to remove the RS3 here, and the next one is kind of the RS3's twin in terms of our model. They use the same frame and truck cores, and really just have different body shells. So let me start that one up. I'm more partial to the Jeep over the RS. I don't know. I think I've always just liked the GP line. Nice small diesels, but, you know, and it helps too if I throw the switch correctly. Man, I am operating well tonight. Oh, good. We have a short. Oh, good. We have something stuck in the wheels. This is fun. Anyways, again, another one that I will bring here, and this is what I get for scrambling at the last minute to get ready. There we go. But anyways, I was talking about the the similarities between the RS and the Jeep. These do have the same frame as trucks, pilots. They do have different sound sets, obviously. They do share the same speaker down here in the fuel tank. And this one is also back drivable. So the speed lashing and the lash ups that you can do with the cab 2 and TMCC mode, they work great. So let me just do the same thing and demonstrate all of the different sound features of this guy. Yes, we do have Frankenstein engines. You like my Great Northern engine with the blue frame and the yellow pilots. Really, sets the tone for realism. One last feature or upgrade that I want to talk about with the RS and the Jeep compared to the previous version where they were just LC+. We had experimented in the LC Plus version with plastic gears, and those are now gone. So these engines will be shipping with all metal gears as they should. So that's a great improvement as well, and really kind of something that's needed when you have back drivability and speed lashing capabilities. You need to have plastic gears. So that change, along with the pilots, are really the main tooling and or mechanical design changes for these engines. So pretty neat. Somebody wants a close-up. I'll just pan the camera around for a second. See the little crew figure. I always like the little crew figures kind of looking out the window. And these guys are long hood forward. I forget exactly which road names we did, but I think they were all long hood forward, with a high short hood. Look at the electric coupler. It opens. So I'll do a more close-in zoom ups of the other engines as well once I bring them in. All right, so let me take the Jeep off here and go to the next one. And just so you know that the Jeep and the RS both have the same smoke unit, which is the SGSU that we're using in the LC+ 2.0 line, originally designed for the American Flyer legacy engines. So we brought that smoke unit over into the LC+ 2.0 line. So it really has kind of all the same performance and features of the regular legacy smoke units, but in a smaller size to fit in these smaller non-scale engines. So that's why we're using those. So the next engine I'm going to bring in, also an LC+ 2.0 engine, is going to be the K4, the Penske steam engine. So let me get that started up. And the first two diesels are nice, but I really like this steam. Normally I'm a scale legacy guy, but this engine in particular has turned out really nice. It's been a long time since we've done the baby K4. So for those not familiar, baby K4, it means it's smaller, it's not scale. So it is a smaller locomotive that is designed for smaller layouts, tighter curves. But this one really has some good detail features. You can see the solid cast pilot in brass, as well as other separate brass details from the bell, the stack, even the pop-off valves are separate detail parts. And also, like our legacy engines, the handrails here on both sides are the antenna for the TMCC radio. So those are electrically isolated from the shell. And we do have marker lights up in this guy here, green ones up in the front, kind of have those post-war style green jewels in them, as well as the headlight up front. So let me zoom in here so you guys can take a closer look while I talk. So yeah, you got the cast pilot there, the headlight, The stack. So again, this one also has an SGSU smoke unit, just like the GP and the RS. So the smoke is going to be really good performance. The headlight and the markers do turn on and off with the aux2 button on the cab too, and do have kind of that ramp up. So when you turn the lights on, we simulated it just like in Legacy, so that the dynamo spools up, so the lights all slowly fade in as if the dynamo was coming up to speed. So that's pretty neat. And the real light does it too if that's on. These also have the flickering firebox inside the cab. If I can get a view down in there, you can see it. Yep, as well as a cab light. And these will come with crew figures, just like you see in there. And then the 8-pin drawbar that connects the engine to the tender. And the K4 didn't have a reverse light, so you don't see that here. But it does have the electric coupler. And even though this is a LC+ 2.0 engine, the way we did the sounds on this engine kind of, at least the fidelity, the quality rivals a Legacy engine. It sounds really good. So I'm going to go through and play some of the sounds so you can hear that. Really good echo on that whistle. Sorry. This one has standard crew talk as well.
Dispatcher, am I cleared to the outbound? Over.
Hold for signal indication. Dispatcher out.
And also has that 7-key train dialogue. Now, we don't have radio chatter so much on this one since it is a steam era engine. So instead we do more crew to crew, like if the two guys in the cab talking, or even if it's stopped, sometimes we'll throw in kind of the maintenance crew dialogue. So it varies.
Make a note for the house. The right injector needs some attention. How's the fire look? Burning you.
So pretty neat. And again, those are different. You get different ones if you're moving versus stopped. So really fun engine. The electric coupler sounds, and this one was very impressive. It's also back drivable, just like any Legacy steam engine, and is one thing that impressed me was its pulling power. We do our standard pull power tests with our string of die-cast hoppers. You can see them, and sometimes we'll fill them up with rolls of solder just to weigh them down. And we also have pull strength gauges. Yeah, like that. There's one of our die-cast hoppers with the solder. So a lot of times we'll use those for pull testing just to see how it does, especially up and down the grades, make sure it doesn't shake or jitter. And this one really had some good pulling power. Very impressed by it. So this is one I'm excited to see come out. And good question, John. Just for those who don't know that I say it all the time, back drivable just means that if you take the engine in your hands and you move the wheels, you'll be able to rotate it and rotate the motor. That's important for speed control and in lash ups, especially in Legacy engines, but it also does carry through with the LC+ 2.0 engines. So if you have two engines that are hooked together, you want them always working together, not fighting. So back drivability helps with them not to fight one another. And it also helps us achieve better slow speed operation. So that was a good question. So definitely excited to see this one. Let me move this one out, and I'm going to show you one that wasn't on the docket, but I'm excited for. And I think you should be also. Get that guy shut down. And let me just look through the questions real quick before I bring in the next engine. A lot of the questions coming through are really good questions on YouTube. Die-cast, yes, that K4 is an all die-cast engine. Frame, body shell, tender shell, all die-cast, very heavy engine. The RS and the Jeep, they do have stamped metal frames and ABS shells, but all die-cast trucks. So those engines also have heft. Let's see, anything else? When will the K4 arrive? I know those are going into production soon, so you're going to see those this fall. Definitely before December, but other than that, without looking at the schedule, I'm not sure exactly. Legacy style sound, no. So the LC+ 2.0 engines do not have quilling whistles because they are TMCC controlled and not legacy controlled. So even though you have the 5 different pitch levels, you do have just a standard whistle. Whether you pull down just a little or pull it down all the way, you're going to get the same whistle. And that works the same way with the Cab 2 or the Cab 1 remote, and also with any Bluetooth controller like the universal remote or the Lion Chief app on your phone. You press the whistle button, you're going to get the whistle. So. All right, let's bring in the next one. Now, the next one, I don't recall if I had demonstrated it or not. But hey, I like it, so let's show it again, even if I have. But this is one of our new acquisitions. So anyways, new to us. New engine. I like new. Everybody likes new. But can anybody say Amtrak Genesis? Ooh, look at that engine. Look at ditch lights. Woo. I overshot myself here. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Yes, this is the Amtrak Genesis, which was a tooling acquisition from MTH in their Rail King line. So this is obviously not a scale engine. It is shorter than the real Genesis, but it does have a lot of great features that we've added. So we modified the tooling so that a smoke unit could be added. So this will have the same SGSU like all the other engines I've shown you tonight. Front and rear couplers, as well as all lighting features. As you saw when I pulled it in, when you're moving, throw the horn down and you get the flashing ditch lights, and you get reverse markers here as well. And same on the rear of the engine. We do have the rear headlight and markers. So pretty neat. Let me see if the smoke unit, I haven't even shown you guys any smoke tonight. Doesn't mean I know that there's any in it, but we can at least try it. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I like smoke. Yeah, there we go. Now it's smoking. All right. Let's see. Railroader, I can't talk about future engines. Retro Railroader. Can't find the Genesis on LionelStore.com. Let me ask the person in charge of that. We are still making the Genesis, so I'll see why it's not on the LionelStore.com anymore. It's probably just a glitch in the system. So, but yeah, we do plan on making this guy still. We're going to make a bunch of them. We're doing a bunch of special paint schemes, especially for the Amtrak 50th anniversary. So if you look at the 2021 C1 or 2021 C2 catalog, you'll see the different paint schemes that we're offering for Amtrak in this guy. My favorite being the 50th anniversary paint scheme. So definitely something exciting to see. Now these are, the other sounds you heard are more or less finalized. This guy we have not done finalized sounds in yet, but we're working there. But anyways, this is a pretty good representation of what you'll get. Jake, no, it is not a MTH smoke unit. This does have the SGSU smoke unit. So all the electronics in this basically are the same as the Jeep and the RS that I showed earlier. So, yeah, this really was a MTH engine, but is now a Lionelized engine with all the Lionel stuff under the hood. And again, just preliminary sounds. We haven't finalized these yet. We will do the correct Genesis horn and bell, and do some special crew talk as well.
Dispatcher,
But
ready to roll.
I just wanted to show you guys that we do have these, and we are working on them. So
Update for a minute. We've got some traffic to clear first. Out.
looks pretty neat to me. Little special treat. So when we do the finalized sounds, and I might even have a deco sample when we get to that stage with this engine in development, I'll probably have this back on the show again just to show the finalized sounds and just make everybody happy, because I'm excited to get a new to us engine, as well as a fun Amtrak engine, especially on their anniversary year. So there, I hope you guys like it. So, well, let me drive that off. And like I said earlier, the last thing that I wanted to show everybody tonight is the TMCC. Got it. There we go. Is the TMCC ballast tamper. This guy. Pretty neat. So a lot of cool features in this guy. Let me show you in the train camera here for a second. These tampers do actually, there we go. These tampers do move. Now these ones, they don't move with the engine, but they do move manually. So you can put them up or down. These tampers down here are the ones that move and go up and down when the tamper is moving down the track. They are attached to the motor. And there's also work lights up in here. So if I get a better view here, you see these two little guys here where I'm pointing. Those are work lights that point toward the cab. And then up on top of the roof, you also see 4 additional work lights, 2 facing front, 2 facing the rear. And there's also going to be a cab light in there with a crew figure. Obviously, the crew figure on the shipped version is going to have paint. This guy, he wore his birthday suit to work. So fun times. And these will have the run program switch on the bottom, as well as this little mechanical switch here, which actually turns the operation of the ballast tampers on the front on or off, depending on how you want to do it when you're moving down the track. So I'm going to put this guy on rollers, actually. That way you can see the movement of the ballast tampers in the front with it in motion without having to chase it around the layout here. So there you go. You can see the work lights on and the cab light. And the cab light does turn off when you start moving. And there we go. Now let me just pull the, I'm going to pull the train camera out of the tripod here so I can move in a little bit. And there you go. You can see the 4 tampers going up and down. And that mechanism is actually attached to the front shaft of the motor. These little ballast tampers have a single motor in there, and the front shaft of that motor controls those tampers. The rear shaft is what goes to the wheels. So it all kind of meshes in together. It's a very small vehicle, so we had to put the very small TMCC board in it. Fun fact, this is actually the first time we've offered this vehicle with TMCC. In the past, it's always been conventional control. So this is a pretty fun one for us, and kind of excited to see it finally come out with TMCC control. The little motor and the PCB are down there in the short hood, and there's a lot of die cast. Even though this is a small operating vehicle, the frame is die cast. There's some die cast parts on the back, metal wheels, pickup rollers. So a fun little operating vehicle for maintaining your layout for you. So yeah, I hope you like that one. Those will be shipping soon. Actually, I believe they're going to be leaving the factory here not too long, so should be able to see those here in a couple of months. Look at how tiny it is. Look, this is like the size of my eyes and nose, and that's it. It's so tiny. So check the 2021 Big Book to see which versions, which road names rather, that we offered these in. I know there was a set that has this on a flat car. I think it's a maintenance away set. So, woo! All right, so let me go through some questions. If you guys got any more questions, shoot them out now, because I can't always scroll back up and look at all the questions you guys have already asked. Will that thing stall out on a switch? Blake, no, we test our engines on all of our different fast track switches. So we are guaranteeing operation on fast track line-on switches. Let me see what else we got. When will the RS and Jeeps be shipping? That's a good question. Those ones actually had a little bit of a hiccup and a delay due to getting the encoder and flywheels for the main motor. Those will still make the year, but they were supposed to originally ship nowish, but they'll be moving into production soon, and they'll still make the end of the year, probably later fall, early winter. Let's see what else we got. Strasbourg demo. I will definitely do a Strasbourg demo as soon as I get a 90, but we are still cutting the tooling for that. We do have all new tooling coming for the frame and some other parts of that engine. Passenger cars, I'm not allowed to talk about future plans for a scale Genesis, not allowed to talk about future plans. So you guys have to bug Ryan for the will you do this in the future questions, because I get yelled at if I talk about it. So Carter, Dave, please say banana. Banana. I think I saw you ask for that a couple of times, so hopefully you're happy now that I said banana. How backed up is the warranty department? It's not. Those guys are doing an excellent job. So churning and burning on the warranty repairs. Always a good team. So, all right, that's everything I got for tonight. Next episode is going to be fun. Should be sometime beginning to mid-October. And I'm going to have the engineering prototypes, the first legacy version samples of the Scale Acela. Yes, the Scale Acela. Now, I showed the hand-built samples that we ourselves had made quite a while ago, and they were pretty rough, right? So these sets that I will be showing next month, they will have all the final code in them, final sounds. I'm going to demonstrate the sounds in both the lead and the helper unit, along with all of the dialogue that comes in the Station Sound Diner that's in the 3-pack. So it's really going to be a fun set, and I want to just dedicate a whole episode to going through the different and unique features of the Acela set. So as you remember, there's 2 Amtrak versions, Polar Express and a Santa Fe. The other versions didn't get enough orders to get made, but those 4 did, and I'm really excited to see those ship later this year. Let's see what else we got. Daylight Acela. Ryan might shoot me if we did that one. That would be fun, though. Long Island Sea Liner. I will definitely be showing the Sea Liner samples. We haven't gotten those yet. We're still making adjustments to tooling on the Sea Liner. Again, that's another MTH engine that we acquired. And that one, to bring up to legacy specs, has a lot more tooling changes that are needed compared to the Genesis. So it's going to be a while longer until we have samples of that. But definitely we'll be showing those on the show as well in the future. So thank you for everybody for bearing with me with my technical difficulties again. But you know how it is. Too many devices, too many trains. So anyways, thanks for joining me tonight. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Happy September. And go play with trains and have fun. See you guys. Good night.